Okay, I think that answers that question. And again, I just want to clear up we want to clear up one other thing, because it's another thing that's been going on. The person who was actually the lawyer for the city of Taunton in the Joshua or Sarah case did work for the district attorney's office, but has been gone now. He was like worked for you like for the first 6 months.
Oh no, he worked longer than that. He actually rose very quickly to a position of importance in the office. And you're talking about Will Flanagan.
Yeah.
He raised his right hand with me on January 4th, 2007. He started off as just a regular prosecutor, line prosecutor, coincidentally, in Taunton District Court. But he was a very quick study. He'd worked for a couple of years in the city solicitor's office before he came to the district attorney's office. He's extremely bright. He has tremendous common sense and good judgment. And he rose I think about 14, 15 months to a supervisor's position, and then he became supervisor in Fall River District Court. So he had a position of significance within the office.
Okay.
And he left in the summer of 2008 after he'd been with the office, I think about 20 or 21 months. And by anybody's standards, anybody in the office that was reviewing his work, Will Flanagan did an outstanding job.
So he is, and again, not to put words in anybody's mouth, but I'm talking as far as a Taunton citizen is concerned. Taunton has two attorneys in their office,
Right.
The city solicitor and the assistant city solicitor.
Right.
One with combat experience in the trenches,
Right.
and one who is a legalese type of attorney in Kip Torres.
Right.
The selection as to who is going to handle this case is pretty doggone easy.
Well, I don't know much about. I mean, I know Mr. Torres, Attorney Torres personally, and he is a great guy, and in all of my interactions with him has shown me that he's extremely bright and able. But Will Flanagan was in court every single day for 20 or 21 months on his feet, either doing a trial, doing a motion to suppress, arguing a disposition. So in terms of his, to use your phrase, combat readiness, I mean, he's combat ready. I think the most comfortable I ever was on my feet arguing some issue, was after my 18 months in New Bedford District Court. I felt as if you could wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and roll me out of bed, and I could stand up and do a trial or a motion to suppress or a disposition argument.
Right.
And that's the position Will was in when he left the office. So he's absolutely primed for this kind of situation.
Okay. Right. Okay. And he does work for the city of Taunton. He doesn't work for the district attorney's office. And, I'm just, the thoughts that I have had with is, money-wise, to go out and to get now they could certainly go out and get a special prosecutor just like you do for certain things.
That's right.
They could do that.
It is costly.
It's costly, yeah.
It costs because of Tom Quinn's private practice, my private practice, Bill McCauley's private practice. Paul Machado had a very busy private practice. We had to get a lot of special prosecutions, and whenever we were not able, at some point in time, Tim Cruz, the Plymouth County District Attorney's Office, Tim Cruz, the Plymouth County District Attorney, head of the Plymouth County District Attorney's Office, is going to say, Sam, enough. I mean,
I can't do it no more.
So then you go to Bill Keating, and then finally you have to bring somebody on, and so it can be costly.
Yeah, it can be. And I'm sure, just referring to the Taunton situation, there's no cities around, even though we got a little bit of a surplus, there's no cities around that can afford to be going out and spending money when you got somebody, like I just said, combat ready, who could do a pretty good job.
Right.
Is he the greatest attorney in the world? Maybe not. He's not Clarence Darrow, but he certainly is good enough to handle this kind of a hearing. He certainly is qualified. And it's certainly...
Well, I haven't been watching what's taking place, but I know that there was at least one, and I think maybe more than one, case that I got personally involved in with Will, just because of the sensitivity, the delicacy of the case, and I was extremely impressed with his skills, with his knowledge, so I'm not watching the hearings on cable. It appears as if there's some controversy.
Sure. Oh yeah, right.
Oh, really? There is. Right. There's some controversy.
Yeah. This is going to be the fourth night of the hearing.
Yeah.
Average of 5 or 6 hours every night, and,
right.
And there's all kinds of allegations and things and so
really?
on and so forth going on with this. So anyway, we got a call, and we'll take our first call. Put the headsets on. Let's take a phone call. You're next on Hometown Talk. Good morning. I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you have a question for Sam this morning? Okay.
If and where these sort of larger allegations, sort of beyond Joshua Estera, allegations about the police chief or the city clerk or even anyone else, who decides where that ends up? Is that a local decision? We've looked into it. We don't think it's a big deal. We're just going to leave it lie. Does someone outside the city say, well, I've been following this, and we think it's kind of something we need to get involved in? How is that decision made?
Well, there are three possibilities for who would handle the case. The District Attorney's Office, the Attorney General's Office, and the United States Attorney's Office. And perhaps there'd be a fourth possibility, which would be if it was the District Attorney's Office, then a special prosecutor that, as I was just discussing, someone from another District Attorney's Office or somebody that's appointed to do that particular case. So there are a number of possibilities. How is the decision made? Well, the case, a case like the one you're talking about, and I would assume you're talking about a prosecution of public officials, not the police officer that's involved, because the police officer that's involved is already being prosecuted by our office for at least one offense. So if it was the public officials, somebody locally, mayor, city council, would have to refer the case to the district attorney, and then we would look at it, and this happened recently to us. We would look at it, we'd make a decision. Is this for us? Is this for Attorney General Coakley? Is this for the United States Attorney's Office? And that's the way it would proceed. I can tell you that it is very unlikely that we would decide to do a public corruption case because we don't have anybody doing those kinds of cases, and the Attorney General's Office and the United States Attorney's Office do. So that's the answer, I think.
Okay. Someone's got to initiate and say, hey, we should have an investigation.
It's a really good, smart question, because I think this is the follow-up answer, and that is that the district attorney's office doesn't go around looking for cases to prosecute, with a couple of exceptions. We get our cases from the police, so it's 30,000 cases a year in Bristol County, not including juvenile. I think with juvenile it's around 35,000. Those are cases where the police have made an arrest. They've written a police report. They give it to the police prosecutor. He gives it to the district attorney's office. We go into court and we prosecute it. And that's whatever, 97%. Then you have the homicide, maybe even more. I mean, 99%. Then you have the homicide cases. Now, the legislature gave that to the district attorneys in its wisdom because they're small towns in Massachusetts that are not equipped to do homicide. So they give it to the district attorney. They assign state police to the district attorney's office to investigate suspicious deaths, and the district attorney runs the homicide investigations, of course, working very closely with the local police. So that's those kinds of cases. Then you have cases where the consensus in the legislature was that the district attorney's office needs to be spearheading certain major investigations of drug dealing, and I also include with that illegal firearm dealing, violence. So that is another part of, and that's another way that we get involved in cases and prosecution. But when it comes to the type of case you're talking about, that has to be referred to us. I mean, recently you may have seen in Fall River, the mayor of Fall River, on advice of council, referred to us a matter concerning certain school department officials. Now, the statute made it very clear that once the attorneys for the city determined that there was a violation or a potential violation of certain state statutes concerning the handling of monies raised for the benefit of the school system, once it was determined that there may have been a violation, the mayor had no choice but to refer it to the district attorney's office. So in the particular case you're talking about, absolutely the city council, the mayor could refer it to the district attorney's office, and then we would have to do something about it, and we would.